Let me just say, this is your energy, okay? We have here the Knight of Pentacles, the slowest moving knight in the deck. And this is what I mentioned earlier when I said, you know, you're very restrained. You're very observant. You're the planner. You're the type to like, I want to know what all it entails before I jump in. So I feel like, you know, once burned, twice shy. You might have been hesitant um, about embarking on a new situation because you've learned from the past, because you might have been burned over something that you might have impulsively gotten yourself into in the past. I'm hearing hot water. So, you know, things you might have said that got you in hot water, or things you might have done that might have been impulsive, spur of the moment. It lacked foresight and planning. And then it ended changing your life in a way that might not have been expected, or it might not have been something that you completely wanted at that time. I feel like regardless, everything worked out the way that it was supposed to be, but you're in this state here where you're observing. So he's on a hill looking, scouting, looking at the horizon, looking at what's below, and figuring out, you know, do I need to fight another day? I have my armor on. Is it safe? Should I move forward a little bit? Should I, like, what should I do? So he's in this state of just, you know, passively looking on, okay? And I feel like there's a situation here, and I feel like it's heavily relationship focused. Once again, another big relationship focus. Um, I feel that there's some news, some communication, some information coming at you, and you're not really sure what to do. Okay? Um, what he's looking at here is the Page of Wands, and this Page of Wands is a declaration of something. For some of you, this is an invitation to a sporting event. Wanting you to be a part of a league, wanting you to participate in their team, wanting you to be a part of a tournament, wanting you to engage in some way in some type of a physical activity. I also feel with the Ace of Cups, this is an outpouring of a love gesture from another person. Okay, it's a massive, massive, massive outpouring. Okay, we have here this giant Ace of Cups. It's the key to something. And I feel like for many of you, this is long awaited, but this is also very unexpected. You've been kind of, I feel for many of you, this is like a new relationship, okay? You might have dated somebody new within the past few months, within the past few weeks. And I feel like this is the month where they are really making their feelings and their emotions known to you. I'm also sensing for many of you, if you have been waiting on a person, especially communication, there is a massive outpouring of love here. And I mentioned for the December reading, I just feel like somebody was turning a new leaf, turning over a new leaf, wanting to come towards you, wanting to offer something. And you've been waiting, waiting, waiting. And I feel like you have invested a lot of time on yourself. Okay? Not wanting to waste your energy, keeping yourself preoccupied and productive, not wanting to be distracted, not wanting to, I guess, like ruminate in that space where you are kind of like caught up in your emotions, because you know that I don't want to think about it. I don't want to waste time on it. I don't want to be unproductive. So I'm just going to stay here, keep busy, keep myself distracted, do whatever I need to do from my end. And if it comes, it comes. If not, I don't need to worry about it. So I feel like for many of you, there's definitely a situation here where you might have given hope. You might have given up hope. You might have thought like, you know, nothing is going to come out of it. You might have thought that, I was a fool, I'm hearing. I put so much of myself into it. I wasted so much time ruminating and mulling over the situation, and nothing's going to come out of it because the gesture, the message, the attempt, the effort was so slow. It was like so painfully, painfully, painfully slow. It was as slow as you could get. And so coming through in the month of January, you have something straight out of the gate. You know, the horses, breaking free from the gate and racing. Okay, so you have energy coming in that is very, very fast. A lot of communication, a lot of passionate, like text messages, information coming through. I'm hearing like, you know, kind of like the pinball machine where where the metal ball is hitting all the pins. And every time it hits, it ding, 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 dings. So like I'm hearing those dings and it's all over the place. So I feel like there's a lot of commotion, a lot of activity, a lot of messages, a lot of things coming into the picture. And we have here the Ace of Wands, something really passionate, a lot of planning, a lot of things. Finally, I feel like the groundwork has been laid and now these things are really starting to take off. Okay. It's paired here with the Page of Wands. So I feel like, you know, message received and then message responded to. Okay. Somebody calling you and you happen to miss their call, you call them back right away and they pick up. So no one is leaving anybody on red. Okay. So no one is like avoiding communication. No one is holding back. No one is hesitant. It's all action oriented. It's all passion. It's all fiery. And it's all like, let's get things started. Let's get on the road. Let's get things moving. So there's a lot of movement. I feel like a little bit of like impatience, but I feel like things are moving along so that impatience is going to somewhat diminish. Okay. So you are in very high demand this month, Aquarius. I feel many of you are in high demand for sporting events. I feel like I'm hearing trivia. So if your work environment or your friends are really into that, I feel like they're trying to, you know, argue over who gets you on their team because you guys are very smart and you're very knowledgeable and you have like a bunch of knowledge about a lot of things. So you would be a perfect candidate for trivia. I'm also feeling as well, people are fighting to have you on their team. So if it's like a sporting league, they're fighting to have you on their team. If it's like a work situation, they want you on their team. They want to train you. They want to groom you. They want you for something. If it's a love relationship type of a situation, I feel like there might be a lot of people. Like I see a bunch of people coming into your environment and I see them kind of forming a circle around you and you're kind of like in the middle. It's sort of like, you know, I hate that show, but that's the only thing I can come up with. It's sort of like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette show. I don't watch it. I hate it. I feel like it's just, you know, terrible, terrible, terrible. But you know how you have like one person in the middle and they have like candidates and suitors all around them and they're trying to figure out who they give their offer to. And that's why I hate it. That's what it feels like. It's like somebody, a bunch of people they're forming like a circle around you and you're in the middle and you're looking around to see who the best candidate is. Okay. So I feel like you're very, very much in high demand. Things are going to be quite busy in a very good way. A lot of exciting things are going to creep up. I'm also feeling as well for those of you who you might not even be like looking for work, but I feel like new opportunities are being kind of like asked of you or being given to you. So for example, you know, you might just like be at work and you're kind of like going to the water cooler and along the way you hear, so like you inadvertently overhear somebody having a conversation and they're like, oh, such and such position is open. You know, they're hiring 3 people or something like that. And you're like, wait a minute, I could apply for that. You know, things like that. So like being in the right place at the right time. And I would say it's not just sheer luck, Aquarius. I feel like you are being divinely guided to, you know, get up and go to that water cooler so that you can eavesdrop and overhear these conversations, because I feel like they're really asking you to, you know, step up, move up, or get things going. Okay. Many of you, I feel, will be very motivated to start some type of an exercise regimen. where if you're trying to, train for a marathon, if you're trying to get more physically active, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to get in shape, I feel that you're going to start the month of January with a burst of fervor. So it's like dedication, energy. And so right off the gate, right out of the gate, you're going to feel very motivated. Okay. So this is definitely a really good time for you to start moving things along and initiating things and moving, taking action and just, whatever you've been putting off, whatever you've been procrastinating on, putting off, and whatever you felt like. I know that, the month of November and December was a little bit heavy, and you might have put off a lot of things, and a lot of it has to do with self-care, self-care, being good to yourself, being good to your body. I feel like this is a good year for you to take care of your emotional, physical, and mental health, okay? So I see that energy coming in where you're being more conscientious about that, about what you eat, what you're putting in your body, how to take better care of yourself, what your mental health needs are, so that you can, build yourself back up, okay? So at the center of the spread, we have two of the most amazing cards in the deck as it relates to, love, relationships, emotional fulfillment, and all of those things. So we have here the Ace of Cups. This is overflowing. And then we have the 10 of Cups. I honestly feel like for many of you, this is a wish come true when it comes to a partner, okay? Meeting a kindred counterpart. And it just feels to me like I'm getting this image of like everything converging, okay? It's like a series of life decision, life events that led to this moment, okay? Where, it's almost like we always wonder, why did I take that job? Why did I move to that city? Why did I, start working on in this location? And so we never really understand if everything was, coincidental, if everything was happening by chance, or if there was some type of a grand design. And I feel like for the month of January, you're getting this spiritual confirmation that there is no coincidence, there is no chance. It doesn't mean that everything is preordained and we have no free will. We definitely have free will. But I feel what it's saying here is that, everything that you have done so far, or all the choices that you have made, has led you to this exact moment in time where you are reaping that total emotional fulfillment. Okay, so I feel like for many of you, you're getting a confirmation of something. Either, and I feel for many of you, a love relationship where you're meeting the one. Okay, some of you might be proposed to, some of you might be tying the knot with somebody. And then I also feel for many of you, you might be crossing paths with somebody that will play a very significant role in your life for the next phase of your life. So this is a huge defining moment. And, our lives is not just defined by love relationships, okay? But I do feel there is a significant person here that will walk the next phase of your life with you. And I do feel for many of you, this is like, we're going from the Ace, number 1, to the 10, the end. Okay, so it's like something is tremendously like accelerated. It's accelerated so fast that you're hit with it, you're hooked, and before you know it, it's a full-blown relationship. Okay. For example, what I'm seeing here literally is you run into somebody at a bar and you're just like, oh, I'm just here with my friends, you know, just meeting up and having a drink with even coworkers. And you never think much of it. And you're just like, it's a bar. I don't want to meet people right now. And then you meet somebody and you have great conversation, great chemistry. And before you know it, it becomes like a full blown relationship. So I feel like a timeline is being folded where you're accelerating things, taking things to the next level in a very short period of time. I would say even, you know, falling in love and finding somebody who is exactly like you. These two creatures are like identical. Okay. And I usually think of this as like, you know, a very strong twin energy. Okay. So you might be dealing with someone who is exactly like you. You might be dealing with someone who thinks like you, who has the same likes and dislikes. I feel like for a lot of Aquarius, correct me if I'm wrong, but like you like to have your bed sheets really straight. Okay. Like, you don't like it when the bed sheets like bunch up and then you can feel it on your skin. Like you can feel it when you're lying on top of it and it's bunched up and it's under your skin. And so, you know, the partner that you might meet has the same quirks. Okay. These things in the greater scheme of things, they don't really matter, but it really helps move the relationship along. Okay. So I definitely feel here where you're meeting somebody that is very similar to you. All the things that other people have said about you that have been like odd or quirky or strange, this person gets it. Okay, so I feel like, you know, if you felt like you didn't quite fit in the past, you're meeting someone who is exactly like you and they get you. So there's already prerequisites for like a very strong emotional connection coming into the picture. I'm also feeling as well, for those of you who have been dealing with a person and, you know, you were waiting for them for a really long time. They took their sweet time and you never thought it was going to happen. And you focus on you. You drew back your energy. Focus on you, building up your own light. And while you're distracted, while your energy is over here, focusing on all the abundance in your life and taking care of yourself, I feel like there's a message coming through and there's a breakthrough in the communication between the two of you. And I feel like the communication happens really swiftly, very fast. And I do sense like before you know it, there's this outpouring of emotions and things like that coming through from the other person. So it's very strong. It makes me feel almost like there might have been distance, emotional or physical. It makes me also feel like there might have been misunderstandings between the two of you. And now that there's a period where you both are making up, there is an outpouring, a gesture, and just a sense of like coming together, feeling very complete, feeling as if you will never be separated. Okay, so I definitely feel emotional or geographical distance that might be bridged in a very swift way. Okay, so it looks really great. It looks wonderful. And I'm really glad to see this for you, Aquarius. So that's these three cards. They're screaming out, you know, great passion, great romance, great chemistry, great compatibility as well. Don't get me wrong. It's not just, you know, fun and games. There's great chemistry and compatibility and also a really strong emotional connection where two people want the same things out of life. Two people want the same level of commitment. Two people want to be inseparable because they look at themselves as if they're kindred souls and they don't want to be apart. Okay, so you're meeting someone who's very much like you, who wants the same things as you do. And I feel like the passion, the chemistry, the compatibility is so strong that you're just going to fall head over heels in love very, very quickly. Okay. On the other side, so we have like 4 cards left. These are also very, very good cards. Don't be alarmed. I'm trying to recall the message that came out when these two cards flipped out.